The one thing that we don't have, one account that we don't have, is an account specifically, say, for our coffee, tea, the staff refreshments. We budgeted for those in a contingency fund or account. But I just thought it would be better if we had a separate account. So I'm going to show you or an account. So I'm going to call this one the description. Let's call it just want to staff refreshments. Now the account type, let me show you. There's a drop down button, and that's all the account types there is. But I know this is an expense account. So I mean, you can look for it there, but I just normally just expenses. Income statement or balance sheet. It's part of the income statement. And now the one important thing as well, everything that we do must reflect on the 043 as well. If it's part of your budget, it must reflect in the 043. This is how easy it is to map your account with the 043. So I'm just going to call it other expenses, because it's going to fall under the other expenses on my 043. And I give it a code. Now my current code for contingency is 3750 stroke 000. But I'm just going to use quite similar thing, 0 and 1. And that's it. And I have created it. And you can say save and close.
Hanli, we just have one question in our chat window. Please excuse my, okay, the question is, please excuse my ignorance, but what program are you using? I'm a little bit lost. Okay, the program is called Rice School Management, and it's an all-in-one for schools, so it covers all the essential processes. And Hanli is doing a live demo. It's a cloud package, so you can run it from any laptop, any computer. That's just in a nutshell, and I will elaborate a bit more after Hanli is done with her presentation. I hope that this answers your question. Okay, thank you.
I just want to show you, there immediately is part of my chart of accounts, as you can see. Staff refreshment, it's an expense account, and it falls under my my 043 and the other expenses. Now let's create a income account. Again, the description. Let's just call this one, say, tea club. We have quite a lot of parents that comes and visit us, and we would like them to buy a cup of tea or coffee from us for fundraising purposes. So this account is being created for fundraising purposes. And again, you can drop down, and this will be an income account. Okay, and my financial category will be my, sorry, that must be, sorry, I just want to go back there. That must be other income, because we don't work with taxes and that. Okay, so financial category will also be my income statement, and that will fall, like I said, under my fundraising. So on the 043, I wanted to show under the fundraising. But it has a parent account in this instance. That's why I created this one to show you. So I wanted to fall under the fundraising. It's part of my fundraising. So my fundraising code is 2900, which is a diverse account. Oh, let me just go back there. Diverse income. That's it. And I want a code similar to that, and I'm going to just call it 401. Save and close. So this will now form part of my 043 when there is T Club, other income, and it falls under the fundraising. And you can see there's the parent account and all those that falls under the parent account then. So that was the easy way of creating a chart of accounts. Okay.
Okay, that's great.
On,
Thanks
Anna?
so much. Sure, yeah. So,
okay. So the next step normally in a
yeah. No, sorry, carry on. I
Christine?
just wanted to ask one participant with the name The Bestest Bester, if she could just switch off your camera, just to, please. At the bottom of your screen, there's a camera icon. Just click on it once. The Bestest Bester. Okay, so I can see that you muted Hanli. You just need to unmute her so you can hear her. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, we can continue. Hanli, hello. If you can hear me, please unmute your microphone. It was muted by mistake because we cannot hear you. It's just at the bottom of your screen in the middle. Okay, now we can hear you. Yes, we can hear you.
Can
Okay,
you hear me
thank you.
now? Okay. Okay. So what I said is after you set up your chart of account, so the next step will be creating a budget. Now you've created your budget. You want to put it on RISE system. So it's so easy. I'm going to show you two ways again. The first one is creating it from scratch. You can just do create. I'm just going to use it. Okay, yeah, let's just do that. It's a little slow, and I'm going to give it just a budget, say budget 1 of 2016. Now I want to start adding to this budget. And the nice thing is, you will see if you do that and you say show all, immediately you get a box of all your chart of accounts. Now I'm not going to do everything. I'm just going to do a couple. So for instance, in my budget is my advertisements and promotions. So you can select Okay, add another one. So I'm just going to first add my account, or the accounts that I want on my budget. I'm just going to add that first. So let's do that one. Okay, add another one. And let's go to okay, so homeschool fees. I'm just going to keep with that theme. Now my budget for the year. So for instance, my expenses for the year for ads is 10,000 Rand. And now you can do it. You can, this is now the nice part. You can decide how you want your budget to be broken down. I preferred just to do it like this. I put my 10,000 Rand in March, in the first term, and it will show the total there. The other way that you can do it is, let's call the homeschool fees. You can just put in the amount there, say we want 120,000. That is what we budget to in for the year. And if you do it in the total column, you will see it breaks it down every single month for 10,000 Rand per month. So your budget will be measured to see, did I make my budget 10,000 Rand every month? The other one, say for instance, bad red. Oh, yeah. You can decide, okay, I want, say for instance, it's 20,000 Rand. So let's do 5,000 this term. And so 5,000 Rand there. Okay, let's go to so September 5,000. And December 5,000. So your budget will show that for the year it should be 20,000, but you decided when you want it to be reflected or be measured. So this is just in a very short nutshell what it looks like, and then you post and close. I'm not going to post and close it because then it's there. Okay, so that's the one way. Now I'm going to show you the second way. Just going to close this. The second way is, I want to create a budget for 2021. Go to my year 2020. And I'm going to use a copy of this budget because I mean all my accounts is already in there. And I just go to the plus button. Now the plus button, that one, says I'm going to create a copy of the current one. So I just press the button. It's taking its time a bit. Let's just do it again. Okay, now I can change it to 2021. And I can say, okay, Bursar it's not found. And I can change it to 21. And now I can just start changing on this document. I can just start changing it to the new budget that we've set up for 2021. And you post and close, and it's done. So that is quick also, the budget and how easy it is to create in Rise. Okay.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much, Hanli. And now, as you go along and you assign your transactions, you create receipts, how do you track, how do you make sure that you fall within the budget?
Okay. This is my favorite tool in this whole program, and we're going to use it later as well. But I'm just going to show you. In accounting, you've got a budget actual plan. Yeah, budget plan actual. And what this does, every time when you allocate an amount to a certain account, I'm just going to run the report for this year, it immediately measures it. You can, just by doing what I'm doing now, immediately see where you are with your budget. So I'm going to, it's easier to show in the expenses. So for instance, auditing fees. We've budgeted 12,000 Rand for the auditing fees. We've used 10,407 of it currently. So this is what's left in our budget is 1,593. And that accumulates that we've used 86.73% of our budget for the year already in auditing. Now let's go and look at something different. Okay, let's go to electricity. Our budget is 90,000. We've used 65, so there's 24 left, and that accounts to 72%. So you can immediately see where you are every time when you do a transaction from the bank stream. So this is by far my favorite tool.
And now, if you would like to drill down, if you want to see what one specific category makes, is made up of, how do you do that?
Okay.
So say for instance, any expense or.
So you just double click on it, and there it shows. So for January, I made 2 payments, and the reason, okay, I shouldn't have done that. Sorry, I'm sometimes a little bit too. Let's go back to that one. Okay, let's go to electricity and water again. So you just double click on it. Okay. As you can see, we made 2 payments in January. The reason being, one was for December and the other one was for January. There our budget shows, and then it will show every time that you made a payment. Okay. So you can immediately see what you're doing and where your budget is going, or your money is going to.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Thanks. Thank you.
Now that we talked about the bank stream, Anna, I'm thinking I'm just going to skip to the bank stream first, okay?
Sure.
Because I'm going to keep this open, and I'm going to show the bank stream how easy it is again to work in RISE. So your bank stream is basically like your bank account. And it shows you all the money, obviously, that you've paid, but also your deposit or the money that came in. Why is it so slow? I'm just waiting for the bank stream to open quickly. Okay. Just want to refresh.
So just to explain while Hanli is refreshing, so we interface with the 4 major South African banks. So the Nedbank, Absa, Standard Bank, and also you have an option, you can upload your CSV file if you prefer it. So there are 2 options. Either you can interface in real time, or you can upload your CSV, which you can just pull from your online banking.
Okay. So I'm going to quickly show you. I'm going to do you the one Telkom account. But first I want to go back to the banking, the budget actual, just to show you something. Um, okay, Telkom, let's find ways. Telkom. I'm just looking for my Telkom telephone. Okay, there you see it shows 41167. It's not going to differ a lot, but yeah, you will see. So I'm going to make this payment. Category is your account. Your customer if you make it towards a student or a learner or whatever. So I'm going to make it now to my category. My account will be Telkom, and you can either type in the code if you know the code, or you can just say telephone and it will call it up. And I'm going to do the top one as well, seeing the you see in the earlier I created the T club, it already shows. And all that you do is you approve the transaction. And I'm going to approve that one. Now I'm going back to my budget plan. And you see, 41167, I'm going to run the report because there was differences or changes. Let's go down to telephone, and you can see it change it. Immediately it changed 41234. And that is how easy it is. If you go back, now I'm going to do another thing for you. Just a student account, also just to show how easy it is, and it immediately reflects in the student's account. So I know this is for Janelle van der Westhuizen. So what we do is we match her account to an invoice. Because early in the year, we've invoiced a school account for school fees and art kits and all those type of things. So I'm just going to match this to an invoice for school fees. So I'm just going to say 100,000 and it's Janelle. Okay, so I'm just going to match it to the invoice. So I just tick on that block, the 300 Rand, and I say match. And I approve. I just want to show you now something. Just want to go back. I'm going to, let's do the student list. It's just a little bit slow. Okay, and I'm just gonna type in here. Yeah, now just double click on her. While we're waiting, the student counterparties, when you sign up with RISE, Anna then help you actually to import all your students that you currently have into the system. So then you have everything what you want is in there, the name, the address, the contact details, and all those kind of things. I'll quickly show you that. You see all the information is already there. I'm just going to go to the document journal. And at the bottom, let me just see. Just gonna open so you can see the dates. Okay, let's go down here. And there it shows. The payment was made on the 11th of August in the bank, and it immediately reflects in her account. And even if you open that, so you just double click on that, and it will show that the payment was linked to the invoice. There it shows it's linked to the invoice. So just by clicking off a couple of buttons, everything happens. Okay. Anna, something you want to add?
No, that's great. We just have a question from Michelle. How do you get, good day, Hanli and Anna, how do you get the Business Pulse model graphed onto your home screen, as well as a collection of school fees measurement? Hanli, do you want to show how you activate it?
What is that again?
So the Business Pulse on the home page. So when you go to your settings.
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. I know they do have a little bit of a problem for the Business Pulse not showing immediately. You know what's the easiest way for it to show? Just go to your quick menu, your settings. So I know even when I open up my rise, it doesn't always show the business polls immediately. So this is just the quickest way for you to see your business polls immediately on the front page, the home page. Okay? And you just say save and close.
Okay, that's great. Michelle, I assume it's Michelle from Dekelin. We can also look at your question in more detail during our weekly meeting with regards to the business pulse. But that's like Hanli showed, that's the quickest way. You can just go to your settings and just literally refresh your settings, and you will see your business pulse. Okay, thank you. Great.
Yeah.
All right.
And just for the other, so on the business polls, there you can see your unpaid school fees, your expenses, and it gives you the breakdown for venue and facilities. Um, let's see what, so it actually breaks it down totally. You can see everything. Um, my bank accounts, your net income, your expenses, everything is just by looking at the page. Okay, just back to the business polls. Okay. Oh, and while we're here, I just want to show them the 043 as well. Um, with the payments that we've just made, it will now reflect immediately on your 043 as well. I'm just going to run my report.
Hanli, sorry to interrupt. Just we have another question. I think this has to do with the technical limitations of Hangouts, because you can see that on your right there are all the people that are attending, and then it basically makes the screen a bit small. But we can enlarge. On Hanli's side, we can make it a bit bigger. Hanli, do you know how to do it, or should I guide you?
What is that, Anna?
So they're struggling to see the screen, so we can just enlarge it on your side. So just where you were. So it's on top.
Where on top?
Yeah, I'll tell you now. So you see where it says
because it's
yes, Hanli Mostert there. Yes, those two lines with the drop down. If you could just click on it. Not on Hanli Mostert, but those two lines with an arrow. You see where it says change scale. If you can just click on that, change scale, and then you can just make it more than 100%. If you just make it bigger than 100%, it will make your presentation screen a bit bigger. So we can make it say like 120 or 130. And then it would mean we will need to scroll down a bit more. So I would just leave it at 120. Yeah. And then you just click set for all forms.
Okay. Is that better for them?
Is this a little bit better, Caroline? Okay. We're waiting for the feedback, but I think we can just carry on. All right. Thanks, Hanli.
Okay. Just again, back to the budget and even the chart of account that we said it's immediately reflecting on the 043 as well. So I just want to show you on the 043. Oops, that was not too quick. I just want to go to the top again. Okay, on the 043, there is my budget for the year. So, and that was drawn from my budget and my chart of accounts, the mapping and all those kind of things. So it pulls it through to the 043. The actual to date, what that means is all the income, and I will go down now a little bit, and expenses from the 1st of January till today. What I've done in the bank stream will reflect on the actual today till today. Even those couple of transactions that I did earlier in the bank stream. Now, This column, third column, is for the beginning of the third term till currently. So this column will change every time when I do as well a transaction. And I'm just going to go down to the bottom and say, and there's my expenses, my other expenses. Those accounts that I've created will fall now under the other expenses. So if I make any payments, it will reflect there. So I just want to go to the bottom. And as you can see, always your budget has to balance. If there's an amount, then you know you've got a problem somewhere. Okay. Oh, now what did I do now? Okay. Let's just wait for it to finish. And even I will show a term that's finished so that you can see the Bank Recon section. So this was at the end of the second term. You can immediately see my bank statement, what was on my cash book. You can make changes there. So if you want to add more or you want to take out, say for instance, I don't want them to see the petty cash, you can just take it out. This is a new function that they've created. Let's say I want to take out my Ikulka. Okay. So you can do whatever you want here. Okay, so for instance, I just want to leave it like that. So it's totally up to you. But I just wanted to show you. So, yeah, at the end of the term, so that's end of June, we see 142,295. Just want to show you something as well. Sorry, Anna, we didn't speak about that, but I think I'm just quickly going to show the Bank Recon again.
No problem.
So everything connects. The one transaction connects with all the other important features. I mean, we have to do a Bank Recon. So if you do the one thing in the system, it actually just aids in the rest. Just want to go to the end of June. That was quick. See, end of June. And it's really with the Bank Recon, it's just a click of a button. I now then know what my previous document in Excel looked like. I've actually written a whole document on Excel on how to do the Bank Recon and the 043 and all those kind of things. And now it's just a click of a button. As you can see, there it all shows. Difference is 0. Beginning balance, closing balance. And you can see that amount is exactly the same one as in my 043. So that was just a quick add-in regarding the Bank Recon, which is also pretty easy. Okay, as you see 142. Okay. Anything else, Anna?
Okay, no, that's great. We were going to show the communicator. So, you know, based on the feedback from schools spend about 20,000 Rand per year to print out, you know, all the reports and all the updates for your parents that you then give to learners. Usually schools, you know, give it to learners so that they can give it to their parents. So based on the feedback, you know, we've also created the communicator to make it easier for schools to communicate with all your parents at once. And it's as easy as downloading the app, which takes about 30 seconds, you know, of your time. And then your parents will see all your updates on the communicator. So Hanli will just show you how she sets it up on her side.
Yeah. And just to add to Anna there, we previously used the SMS bundle, and it frustrated me immensely because it only allowed for a certain amount of characters. Now I try to give a message as short as possible, then this person understands it this way, and that person understands it totally in a different way because you couldn't really say what you wanted in that limited amount of characters. So, I mean, to me, this was just amazing. Okay, um, let's just start. Okay, I want to create news now, and there's a couple of different ways you can do it as well. And this is another nice thing. You've always got different options. Let's see if I can click now. Ah, sorry. Yeah, create. Okay. There it shows you it's a draft currently. Now, the first way is just as what you see. I can put in a title, say meeting, boom. And you can just add in here, just like that. Um, and that's basically, I'll show you now. There it shows what it looks like. I forgot now, my screen was now bigger. Now you can decide who do you want it to read or to see this message. Um, we've created, and I'll show you in a couple of minutes, to create a channel. Now, a channel is a class group or a group that you will create and name it. So, in my instance, the channels that I have is, let me just wait for it to open up. So, my subject learners, homeschool, and art club, and you can even break it down further in all my different school subjects. But say, for instance, I just want the subject learners, all the subject learners. To see this message, I just click on it. And you go and save and close, or save and post. And it's done. So that is the first way of doing it. Let's try, keep it like that, or go back. Like for instance now, let's just call it, I'm just gonna, art center. And I can just say, see attached letter written. Now you can go and you can say attach file. Select from disk. And we're just going to go to my desktop. Just put a couple of them. Okay. And let's just put the homeschool year plan. And I say, okay. So we're just going to give it a time and it will show the. Can you see? You can even open it up. To have a preview. Okay, it's now a big thing, so it will take a time. So I'm not just to save time. I'm not going to wait for it. Okay,
Okay, sure.
but that yeah, the year plan will show there now. Okay, it's just to show to save some time. Um, then I'm just gonna delete this. Then another way you can do. Let's just take that out. So you can even insert a picture or then a JPEG file. Let's just do that one. Okay. Yeah, and it will take a while, but it will open there. I will show the finished one. Okay.
Okay, sure.
I'm just going to close this one and then I'll show it to them what it looked like. Otherwise, it's going to take a little bit too long. I'm just going to say no. Oh, there it opened. I'm just going to show you some of the finished documents or finished news. Let's just go down a bit. I'm just going to open anyone up. Um,
So just to
you see, there's something like that.
uh-huh. Just to
Hmm?
add that the admin staff member or the bursar, when you create your news item, you can even see how big it is. So if you look there in the top right corner,
Yes.
mhm, where it says size kilobyte
Yeah.
0.9, so it's a
Mm.
very small news post because it just has a text. There's nothing in it.
Yeah, yeah. So that's why I rather close the others because I knew it was big, and it's going to take a while now. And I just wanted to show them some of the things. Um, I'm just looking for. Oh,
So in terms of
yeah. Let's do
channels,
that one.
each school
Oh,
is basically
just show them.
in control, and each school can create their own channels because like for high schools you will have grade 7 up to grade 12. For primary schools you will have from grade R to grade 7. So it's up to the school, which channels you create.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, there is so many things that you can actually do with this. Like I said, you can put in a JPEG file, um, PDF, normal letters there. You can just write in the body. So it's so many ways that you can do it. Okay, and there it shows you how many. Okay, this is now more older posts. How many people actually read it, and to what channels it was sent. So once again, all is in, everything is immediately viewable, and again the size of the document. Okay.
Okay.
Um, Then another thing that you can create on here, I could have actually left it open there. What I normally do is in my news, I will do a post and say to the people, look under resources. So, for instance, um, in resources, find a link to keep kids busy. Just something, because we do have smaller kids doing art. And I will post that. So, for instance, a channel for the art club and the homeschool kids. So I'm not going to do that, but now I'm going to create the resource because I said to the people they must look under resources. Um, so in my resources, I am going to create as you see, I try to keep it. Okay, and let's call this one. Oh, sorry. How to draw a dog, and it's an external link. I just let it open like that. So this is actually, you will see it's a YouTube video on how to draw a dog. Just wanted to open. Oh, everything seems to be so slow. Ah, okay, let's just do that one. I'm not going to wait for it to open. I'm just going to use the link. So
Yes,
you
exactly. You
can
can just
just do
copy the link.
Control C. You go back to your B and you say Control V. And I wanted my homeschool learners. And this I will just post for them just to keep them busy. So my homeschool and my art club. Yeah. So, and you can put a comment saying enjoy, or again you can put the how to draw a dog or what it is. So you can decide whatever comment you want in it, and you save and close. So now it will show on the parents that is linked up with us. It will show in their notification that there is a link available for the children how to draw a dog. Those type of things with the parents. So they know now they can open it where they have internet because not everybody's got internet access. Um, where they can view the YouTube video. And that is how easy
And
resources
now,
is.
okay, thanks for this. And now, when they download,
Anything else, Anna?
yeah, can you hear me? Yes, I can. Can you hear me? Hello?
Anna?
Okay.
Yes,
I
I
was just
can.
saying that when they,
Yes.
okay, thanks. When they download the app, where do you see, who downloaded the app, what their email address is? on the homepage? Where do you check that?
Okay. Yeah. As you can see, we're currently on the homepage. We've got 387 students and 231 is linked. So I'm still battling for 156 parents to link to it. But you can just click on that, not link to parents. And this is currently my main priority, my main focus is on all the parents to sign up. Um, you see, and there it shows all the parents that didn't sign up on Rise. So everything is there. So currently, what I'm doing, I'm not going to go. Yes, we can. I'm not just yeah. What I'm currently doing that hooks up with the next thing I want to show you. Um, I'm currently busy inviting all the parents, again using a tool on Rise, um, to use the communication as a Rise School as a platform. And I'm just going to show you the one
So this
that
is
I've already created. So
okay. Are you
yeah,
gonna tell everyone what it is that you're doing? Okay.
yes, yes. So yes. So one of the needs that I had was reaching all the peoples from one platform to something like this, to invite them to come and sign up with the Rice School Communication. So we created, with the help of Anna there, this type of letter as an invitation to the people, telling them, listen, this is going to be our only form of communication from now on. So the first thing what I started doing is my subject that, and my content was that. I will show you now how to create it from the beginning. And what's nice about it is I've sent this now to a group of students, and in my report, or to parents rather, not the students, um, the report will show you that it was sent and some of it read it. You see, there was sent to 6 people. There was one class that I've sent it to, and 4 read it. So you can immediately see who responded to it and who didn't respond to it. So now I want to know those who read it, why, even after they've read it, they haven't signed up. So I can immediately see that, okay, they read it, but they're still not on Rise. Why not? So this is one of the features that I really wanted. And again, Rise listened, and this is what they created. Just to show you how easy it is, I'm going to create one from scratch. Just want to close these. Just close. A couple of ways you can do this as well. It's just like a normal email. I just want to close it. Sorry. Okay. So now you can just go to create. It seems so slow. Okay. The first way is you can just start typing. Say, for instance, invitation. Just call it like that. And you can do that, or keep on forgetting that, dear parents. And then you can blah, blah, blah. Just put in your message, what you wanted to do. And you can call it here, created. And the one thing that I keep on forgetting to do, we will see whether you can put, say, today's date as the mailing date. You can add an attachment, but it's not needed. Now you go to recipients, select your contacts. And I just wanted to be sent to, say, my grade 1 students. You can, or let's just call, yeah, the grade, the smaller children, my art club. And I can select them all. Control all. Oh, it's so slow. Let's do it like that. So W is there, Itumeleng is there, okay. Um, Now I want it to be sent to all those email addresses. The easiest way is to go counterparty, mark. Oh yeah. I'm looking for buttons, then I realize my page is bigger than normal. And you can say finish. And you can say start mailing, which I will not do now. And it will start mailing it. So when you're finished, you can open your report and you can see who read it, or was there a wrong email address or whatever. And then it will show you, like I showed previously, that it was sent and all done. So that is the one way you can do it. Then I'm just going to show you the second way. Okay. So create again. You see that drop down button? That shows previous emails that you've sent. Um, and I want to use one of them again. So you can just go to the drop down when it opens up. And I want to do that one. And there's my letter. This I want to send to select contact. And I want to do this to my homeschool learners. Let's just find them. And I just want well, let's do it my extramural student learners. Extramural. And I'll select, because there I know there's just a couple of them. And you can do it if you did previously. And then I'm just going to mark all. Let me say finish. I can put here additional information. So, for instance, parents not linked to right IBCSE learners. So now I know to whom I've actually sent it. Start mailing. And now it will start mailing. So what happens now? Every 3 minutes, oh, you see there, I did it again. I forgot the mailing date. um, an email will be sent. And that's in short. But I'm just going to pause this quickly so it doesn't interfere. Okay. So yes, Anna, anything else?
I wanted to see maybe if people have questions. Okay, let's just see. There is one question that came through. Anna, I would just like to know, is this now the new cashbook system that we can use for our schools? What you mean by cashbook is probably the 043 form. Is this what you're talking about? I hope you can hear me. Hanli, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the system doesn't just have the 043, it has also other aspects of the accounting package. So everything that you need to keep track of your accounts. So the whole functionality, you know, the journals, the bank feed, the Bank Recon, the cash receipts, all of that is included. And the 043 is also part of it, yes. I hope that answers your question. Yes, correct. Yeah. So something that something lastly from my side, Hanli, if you could just, if you don't mind, if you could just go back to the home screen.
Okay.
So if you can just click on your, you see where it says mobile users linked to students, the 247. So some schools, you know, we get a lot of queries because they ask, okay, but can we use the communicator even if we don't have email addresses and phone numbers of our parents? And the answer is yes, because you don't need their email or their phone number for them to download it. So they download the app, and when they do so, they will need to enter their email address and their phone number. And you, as a school or any user of the system, you will be able to see all the current email addresses. And why I say current, because just remember, like when you do your payment in your online banking, you get sent the one-time password. So we do the same, and that's just to verify that it is their email address and it is correct, and that that person is who he says he is, basically. Okay, so the other, you know, the other additional bonus of the communicator is that as parents download, you know, you as a school, you will also be able to see all the emails. You can also follow up with your parents and ask them, you know, if everything is fine, if they can see the news. So that also basically empowers you to have better communication with your parents by reaching out to their most current emails. Okay. Hanli, was there something else that you maybe wanted to show?
No, I think I can just maybe the last thing, just quickly show them on the accounting side as well, that you have an option with the income statement either be on cash basis, because some schools work on cash basis, and like I did till very recently only worked on accrual basis. But because the 043 is more cash basis, I just wanted to open. It's a little bit slow. But we don't even have to go in there. But yeah, yeah. It's just to show that RISE accommodated basically for everybody on either if you use cash basis or if you're working on accrual basis. Last thing that I may add is Natasha created her own view on YouTube on certain sections of RISE school management. You know, the the bulk emailing some of the financial statements and things. So go and view. Um, it's so easy to statement on a cash basis. And the difference being with the accrual account, the school learners for their school fees during the year will show as an income. Cash basis, on the other hand, just shows the income that you received. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Thanks so much.
So that is
So
the
cash.
cash basis, and then you have the option of your yeah.
Mm-hmm. So cash basis is basically the money that you currently receive, but then the accrual basis will also reflect what you still owed, what you haven't received in via EFT or in cash,
Yes.
but it is still owed to the school. Yeah.
School, yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. There is one more question from Rolene. She's asking if there is another type of cash book that they're working with, if it will automatically draw through to RISE. Okay, so when the school decides, to come aboard, we assist with the onboarding. Oh, Shane.
Sorry, that's my dog.
No worries, it's fine. Okay. And then we just, your O43, the one that you use, the department's one, the template. So all that's required is the template of your O43 because it has your school-specific accounts. And then our accountant will import those accounts. And then if she has questions, she will ask you. And that's basically it. And then part of your O43 template is also your budget. And then the budget also gets created in the system, like Hanli was showing at the beginning of our presentation. And that's basically it. Yeah. So it's very easy to start because all the accounts will be in the system and you can just map it to your O43. The next question, I hope that, Rolene, I hope that answers your question. And the next one is this perhaps connected to parents' WhatsApp as well? So the app is independent of the WhatsApp. And the whole point is that you want to move away from WhatsApp because on WhatsApp you need to create countless groups and it gets cluttered and stuff gets lost. Whereas on the communicator, everything is together, it's in one place. And parents can actually see, information in a professional way. They take it more seriously. And they can also access information for their specific class or for a specific activity that their child is involved in. So it's more targeted for you to communicate quickly in an efficient manner and all your parents will see it at once. And you as a school, you can even create your news from the app. I will show it now. Hanli, if there is nothing else that you would like to show, if it's okay with you, if you could just stop sharing your screen and I will share my screen.
Another last thing, I'm going to stop sharing now. The last thing that we, on the communicator, um, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. On the communicator as well, the billing, it's available on the billing.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So for the parents as well. So, yeah. Did I stop sharing?
Yes. Thank you so much. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let me just quickly share.
Okay. Then
Okay. Hanli, can you see my screen?
just like yes.
Okay. So just before I show you the communicator, so for parents to download the app, it's available for both Android and iOS, so both your Samsung and Apple phones. And they just need to go to the, so like I showed now, so you go to your Play Store, you type Rice School Communicator, and you just install it. So I have it installed already, so I can't click on install, but they will see install. And then once they install it, it's very quick. They will be able to basically open the app from their phone. I'm just broadcasting my phone. And immediately they will see the school's important dates. So like you see on top, these are upcoming events. And they can even click on it. And if they want to come and attend, they don't have to do this an option. You see it changes to 35 if I'm basically rolling it over. And yeah, and then here they can see all their updates. I've selected, I think, 2 or 3 schools that are using the communicator just for you to see what it looks like. I see some schools are posting things now as we speak. So if you click on see all, let's take this one. So school fees. So they're informing about the school fees that they need to be paid. Lockdown letter. So as you can see, any updates, your circulars that you normally would print, and that's quite intense in terms of your resources and printing and physically giving it to your learners. Especially now with the COVID-19 situation, this helps a lot in terms of your contact list communication with your parents. Yeah, schools can then attach. So you can see here at the bottom where it says 389. That's the amount of parents that have read this specific post. Yeah, so for instance, here you see there's an attachment, so a parent can immediately just open it from the phone directly and just read it, So this school, York Road Primary, they've informed their parents quite recently, I think it was maybe like a month ago. And they already have, from what I remember, over 500 parents on the app. So you can see for this specific post, 466 parents saw it. So that's the updates, the news, and what I also was planning to show you from my side is to share a small presentation. I hope that we're still okay time-wise. Let me just check that everything is fine. Okay. Yeah, and before I do my presentation, so like Hanli mentioned in terms of the billing, so say I'm a parent. This is just, these are the learners. They're not my children. That's just an example for you to see. But you will see your children's, if you have more than one, it will be, you can actually link up to 4 learners here on the app. So you will see 4 learners information, if you have, because some parents have 2, 3 learners in one school, So a parent can just click and they can see your school's billing details. and basically they can see what they've settled and how much they still owe. So what Hanli was showing earlier in the bank stream, when you assign this transaction, it will reflect here. So this is just also again to save time and to make it more convenient, so parents don't need to phone you and ask you, has my payment come through, and things like that. Yeah. And then, like I've mentioned, or maybe I haven't mentioned it, but so one of the schools, Michelle from Dekelen, she was also asking a question earlier today. So when they joined our program earlier this year, they've requested, that we develop a discipline module because it involves a lot of, printing of paper and giving it to your learners, and then learners also can lose it and stuff like that. So creates a big bureaucratic nightmare. So this was done by us together with them, to suit their requirements. And basically you as a school, let me show you first. So you can create your incidents directly from the app. You get assigned a certain class. So if you're an educator and you just basically type, say for instance, just as an example, grade 5 incidents. I'm just making it up as I go along, just to show you. And then you go to students. You can select your students. It doesn't have to be just one. You can select as many as you need to, if they've done the same thing basically. And their parents will receive this notification privately, so other parents won't know about other parents' children, just about their own children. And then I say done. And then transgressions. So whatever you want to create, you can add any transgressions on the school side. Some schools were even saying that they would like to create positive behavior transgressions, so that they can also praise and motivate learners to behave better and be better. But just as an example, I want to select eating in class, okay? And then I can just see it as a preview. It shows the date, the class, the educator, learners, the points that they're going to get. And then once I post it, your parents will get a notification. If you have some questions, you can ask some questions. I will revert to you now just in a bit in terms of the questions that I see in the chat, but you're also more than welcome to unmute your microphone and just speak up. Okay. And then basically, as a parent, I will just see all the incidents that fall under my child, and I also notify the school that I've read it. That was a very important part of it, so that there is this feedback loop, so that the school knows, okay, the parent actually has read it, he has seen it. Because that was the challenge of parents not actually receiving the leaflets and actually reading them. Yeah, so that's the communicator. All the updates, any events that you have, any fundraising activities, you can notify your parents to engage with them. And as you can see, this red, that's called an alert. And you can just mark, when you create your news, you can just select alert. And it basically just makes it more, it highlights, it just makes it more visible for parents to view it, what it is about. All right, yeah, and then during lockdown, some schools were also using the communicator for homework and to post the learning resources. Yeah, any information that you need to inform your parents about, you can just post it here. Okay, so then lastly that I wanted to share with you is the presentation. Thank you everyone for your patience. I will try to be as short as I can. So how did it all start? About 4 years ago, our accountant was approached by a school. It was a primary school in Cape Town. And he asked if we can develop a learner data module because, the SIMS, for some reason, the SIMS wasn't working so well for them, and they wanted something that works well and that doesn't waste so much time. So we developed the learner's data module. And then the next thing they asked, okay, can you also link it to the accounting? Because that's the whole thing, is that the learner data, it doesn't talk to the accounting. So we've linked it together. And their next request was, can you also maybe automate the O43, because our bursar spends the whole holiday, 2 weeks or even more, just to populate it all in Excel. So we've linked that as well. So the main challenge was that it was too many systems that didn't talk to each other, which also would lead to a lot of stress, not having enough time in the day for many bursars and admin staff, especially if it's one bursar, and some bursars like Hanli, they do not just financial side of things, they also do admin and enrollments and you just name it, reception. And the main problem was that, schools did not have correct information for their parents, whether it be regarding learners' accounts or any other information that they need to pull. And that's how, the system basically, because it's developed with those challenges in mind, it addresses them and it saves times in terms of the O43 and that full integration of accounting with learner data, the communicator, enabling you to also, pull reports when you need them to submit, to your principal or to your SGB or to your parents. And just to kind of summarize it all, so it's all in one. And what I mean by that, it covers the essential processes. It, of course, does not cover every little single thing you can think of, but the system is growing. And every month that we work with schools, we're adding more things, to make sure that it actually does become all in one. I would imagine in 1 year or so it would be. It is cloud-based, so you can access it from anywhere. You can access it from school or from your home. It doesn't matter what laptop you use. And as I've said earlier, it is developed together with schools to address their challenges. And it's in one system, so it's all integrated. So it saves you resources and time, and it includes your full accounting. We don't limit you by modules. You get access to everything what we have in the system. You can use it. Also, your O43, your learner data, your batch invoicing, your discipline module, your enrollment, the bulk mailing, the communicator, and the live billing. So it's all in one place. And I think the big value, if you think about it, is the support, because we have a number of schools, who switch from other systems because the support wasn't so good. And we do try to give, to do our best. Also, we're not perfect, but we do try to give, the best support that we can. We also have weekly meetings with schools so that you can ask us questions, so we can touch base and just basically catch up on anything that needs to be discussed. And of course, you as a bursar or an admin staff member, you get upskilled because you will be trained by an accountant, so you can ask your questions and learn also how to apply it, in the system. So, okay, Hanli is here, so I won't be reading everything, but just to tell you, she even came up with a tagline: with Rise School Management, you will rise above any challenges coming your way. And they were previously using Pastel and the SMS bundle. Dekalin Primary School, just some feedback with regards to the billing. So it helped to also, reduce the amount of queries. So it's been also great to work with Michelle and the whole team, because they always want to know how everything works and ask questions. And that's very good because it also, makes us better as a provider. South Peninsula High School, they were also using Pastel previously and D6, as well as other in-house systems, and they wanted to have everything in one place. So they started using our system since the start of this year. Danaher Primary, it's a school in Strandfontein, and also a very dedicated bursar, and they were using Excel previously, so now she's full on the system. and she was very happy that she could work during the lockdown. She has, you know, compliments about the team that we have, the support. She finds it very supportive and regarding the training or any information that she needs in the process. Another school, Kosadi, that's also quite interesting. So the Bursar could finish the training quite quickly, and she submitted her O43 already in June, even though she was just doing the training. So that was very encouraging. Obviously, different schools take a different amount of time to be trained in the system. You know, it depends on different things. But if you focus and you know, you're driven and you basically show up to the meetings and the trainings, you will finish your training quicker. You know, you won't be taking a long time. You will finish it quickly. And her feedback is that, you know, the system is user friendly, especially for bursars who don't have an accounting background. It's all in one place. She submitted her O43. She said it cut her workload in half as I didn't have to use my own cash book and the WCD's Excel spreadsheet. Nataja helped me to put new entries as I required, and everything added up. And she wishes she started earlier. She wishes she started sooner than later. Fairgrove Primary, they were previously using another accounting package, and what's interesting about this school, their principal and their educator was trained in our system, and that was also, you know, quite positive because it shows that the system is not just for bursars. Anybody can actually learn how to use it, you know. And he said that the system overall is impressive because it allows a school to do financial and general admin in line with the requirements of the WCD. Many other mainstream accounting packages do not cater for the needs of public schools so directly. So that's quite a compliment. And he also said that the fact that your developers constantly improve functionality is a big plus. The training was easy to follow, easy to understand. We also send out principals updates, you know, to inform your principals of the progress so that they're also in the loop. And he says the most significant aspect for me is the finance module. It eliminates a lot of duplication, and combined with the billing functionality on the Communicator app, it provides for almost real-time updates to parents. And he's currently, they're getting their parents on board, so he can foresee that a major improvement in communication and cost saving will happen once they start using it fully. Simonstown School also, so these are just some schools, you know, that are using the system. And this school was quite interesting. So they could see that they need the cloud system, especially now when the lockdown happened and they couldn't access their systems, you know, so they were sort of in a bit of a dark in terms of their financial situation. So they immediately, you know, once they were able to, they switched to our system, and currently we are training their Bursar and their admin staff. You saw what schools do in the communicator. You can put your timetables, exams, schedules, your updates, anything, principals, letters, resources. You can even put your links to your health questionnaires. And this is just a bit, it's a bigger format. You've seen that already, but on the right hand side, you can see the billing part. That's your exam roster, the newsletters, some updates from your, you know, from the principal, from the some homework for your different subjects. Also, you can do your fundraisers via the communicator. You can put up your, you know, learning resources, and you also can be very creative to engage with your parents to thank them that they have attended an event. So you save about 15,000, because if you spend 20,000 on paper per year, with the communicator you can cut that because you don't need to print everything. And yeah, we've looked at incidents. There's also attendance. You can see on the right, you can keep track of your attendance. So absenteeism is also part of the system. You can also do your enrollments. So you can collect information from parents via Google Forms. And you can email your parents at a click. So we've seen that. Hanli was showing that. So we have 3 packages. One is the communicator. And then the administration package. So it includes the communicator, the learner data, the enrollments, the bulk mailing, the discipline, and the absenteeism. And we have the full package, which is all of that, plus the accounting package. And yeah, just to summarize, so, the system covers the needs for, it covers the learners, the principal, the bursar, and the admin staff, as well as the SGB and the parents. And thank you so much for your attention. And I'm going to check now the questions, if you have any. Okay. If you would like to also ask your question out loud, you can just unmute your microphone. Okay, so okay, a question from Rolene. Thank you. Is there any cost involved for the school? And will we get all this information by email after this session? Very interesting things. Yes, there is a cost, and yes, we will email you the. I will forward the video as well as the presentation, and also if you need to, I can forward you the information on the cost. Okay, the next question is from Olivia. Can access be limited for a user if they need to only use the communicator functionality and not to have access to the accounting aspect of RISE? The answer is yes, you can limit that. So they can create basically news and resources and channels. That's fine. And then can the slideshow please be emailed? Is there a trial package available? The trial, we can create one. If you could just maybe, I'm just gonna write my email so you also have it. And then if you don't mind, please just to email me, then I can send you, we can create like an info base that you can maybe check out and see how it works. That's fine. So if you maybe have more questions, you can also just unmute your microphone. But from my side, that's all we've prepared. And I would like to thank Hanli for her presentation. Thank you so much. And I think if you don't have more questions, we can wrap up. And wishing you a good week. And I'm going to stay just in case there are more questions. And yeah, all the best, and we'll be in touch if you have more questions. Okay, keep well.
Thank you, Anna. Have a nice day.
Thank you, you too. Okay, bye.